Okay, we're back. Hello. So sorry, pals. Oh, we're having a doozy. No, old PC, Glyco. Old PC giving me trouble. The new one hasn't arrived yet. Yeah. If assuming everyone's back in chat and we can all see what I'm saying. Hey, Nick Diaz. Okay, we all here? Let me know in YouTube chat if you guys can see and hear me. Actually, what's probably gonna happen? Hey, Stumblebum. No, we actually just lost. Hang on. Live again. Oh man, YouTube sucks. The way that chat works on YouTube is every stream gets every time you crash out of a stream, the new stream has a new video ID, and so the chats don't migrate. It's not like Twitch. Hey, Stumblebum. Yeah. Oh, that sucks, man. Is there a way you can change that? I wonder. Hello, Chuck Yeager. Chuck Yeager. How's it going? So, I was talking about, before I was so rudely interrupted by my PC blue screening, I was talking about kind of why I think unique selling points are not a great way to think about what makes a game important or worth supporting, because I don't think consumers think that way for a lot of genres of games. You know, I think the way that I think about, if someone says to me, YouTube is down again, is it for real? No, it's not. No, it's up. You just got to refresh it, I think, or like go to the new video. There's a problem. It does this thing where it'll because we lost the old VOD, you can't rejoin the old VOD. Like once a VOD has been like turned into a video, it's done. So the next time when I try to get the stream working again, that packages it up into like a new video with a new chat and a new URL, which means everyone who was in the old chat got left behind, which is kind of annoying, but that's life. Yeah, it says started 3 minutes ago because we blue screened 3 minutes ago. Now we have to fire up the stream again. If there's a way to like not have that happen on YouTube, I will need to research it. Is it possible to continue streaming the same YouTube video stream after crashing? A single stream can be associated to up to 3 live broadcasts. Oh, okay, so it is possible. I don't know how to do it though. Hey Mahdi. Yeah, you can ask a question. Rolex. We don't, I'm not going to respond to that. Not going to respond to it, but I appreciate your support. I've been fully roaching into Insignia for like 8 years now. So anyway, let's I feel like I don't want anybody to like think that I'm not debbing on the game. So everyone's like, what's the word? Tensions are high right now. A lot of scrutiny on game dev streamers, you know. But anyway, I was working on a pitch deck at the moment. But there was this question that was being asked on the stream about unique selling points, or at least I brought it up. And we were talking about like why, hang on a second, there's one thing I'm going to do just on my stream overlay. Push this over that way and then scale this up. Cool. Come back to here, do that, and we're good again. All right. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where like, you, again, I'll just try to like package it up into like one straight sentence. With specific genres, I think novelty matters more than others. I think where gameplay novelty is a feature of the genre, like in platformers, then asking what makes a game unique is fair. I think when your game is more about story, the value of a story is not something that we judge purely based on novelty. I think novelty is a minor aspect of story-driven experiences. I think the way a story connects with you, its ability to weave that tale, is more important than whether or not that story's ever been told before. Like the hero's journey is a story that we enjoy being told over and over and over again. So to the extent that Insignia has that, I think that mitigates some of that drive for novelty that someone who was interested in playing the game might otherwise be interested in seeing if they were like, if the game was just a platformer. Like Pizza Tower, for example, is like novel in its look and its feel, but it's a platformer, right? So same thing with like card games, you know, like you look for novelty in a card game because it's a card game. It doesn't have that much depth to it. So that's how I feel about it. And I was just saying on stream that like, if I was gonna like build a portfolio, like a pitch deck around trying to cater to people who think that every game needs a unique selling point, or like is interested in like kitsch in that way, like what's the like unique like spin on your game, like that we're gonna sell to players. Like I'm not gonna market it that way, so I wouldn't want a publisher who was intending on marketing it that way. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think identity is more important than novelty. Novelty is a part of identity, but it's not everything. But yeah, what I was doing was trawling through some of this old slide deck to see what I thought was useful. And you know what? I do wonder. I do wonder if this aspect, and I'm going to be super transparent with you all. Like, I'm pretty insecure about this still, even though I feel this way confidently. What I'm insecure about is like whether or not I trust publishers to consider my game low risk if I'm not talking that talk and playing that game. And I wonder if that's just something where, because they're so market driven and risk averse, like I'm gonna have to do the heavy lifting no matter what, and that long term this is just gonna come down to crowdfunding, like building a community, getting a lot of support from my players or viewers, that kind of thing. I have to be open to that. But I think strategically, like I can't pitch the game to a publisher in a way that I wouldn't pitch it to a player. I can't do that because the publisher's just going to get the wrong idea. They're going to try to push the game into a direction that it's not going. So I have to just be confident and honest about what it is I'm making. I can't be anything else. So for me, it's like the real question is, what makes Insignia work? What does a publisher do aside from taking half the revenue again? Well, a publisher can put up the money to begin with. Like, I don't have full funding for this game. I'm going to need, a few $100K Australian dollars to get the game like released, to distribute it, basically, to get the rest of the game built alongside me as a lead developer, to get quality assurance done, to get localization done, if we ever do any like multi-platform release, like any marketing that we want to do alongside that. Like a publisher can be good for that stuff. They'll foot the bill on the development. They will do the marketing if they're doing a good job. See you, Gabroche. Hey, I'm just gonna jump back because there were some questions that I didn't answer. How can I start pixel art? Watch my YouTube channel. Matthias Fincham says, I know this is against the ethos of what you do, and but do you know who I could outsource with pixel art assets? I mean, you could join my community on Discord and see if anyone's interested. We've got a lot of artists who want to make stuff for people, who want to be involved in stuff. Yeah, we're all pixel artists here. Okay, so let me just do this for a second. Chronos, count up. I think this is, it's not 10 hours. Let's stop that. It's been what, 2.50. That many hours. Okay. So yeah, that's true. I understand that they do that. It depends on who you're talking to, though. But I will watch that video. If you send the link, I'll put it in my watch list. All right. So what makes Insignia work? It's a couple things here. It's honestly, it's the tools. It's just commitment to design excellence. I don't know what else I can say. Like execution. It's a healthy pre-production. And it's the community behind it. This is kind of more, what am I doing here though? I'm talking about like why I'm able to make this work. That's one part. But there's also the question, so that's the business of Adam C. Eunice and whatever. But there's also the question of like, what does the game look like when it's working? So like that game loop perfected or whatever. Let's keep looking. So there's this, I mean, this is the next thing, right? Like the proof. Like why do I think I can make this game? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I like this. I think this is cool. Yeah, and they're even talking about tech as well. It's really interesting how, like, at a certain point, like, this stuff becomes kind of second nature. Which stands out from the competition? So I do think this is important. I think, like, demonstrating like sorry, pals, one sec. Oh wait, is that me? No. Okay, all right. And then I pause that, and then I press the comments. Now we're good. Okay. So yeah, like I think putting it all together, we got like something about where we're aiming. So, bonjour. Bonjour, bonjour. Ahlan. So it's like other games. We're modeling the game after in shape, size, identity, whatever. This root bin is it's Figma. I was gonna say FL Studio. It's not that. Am I going live on YouTube again? I'm live right now. I will be. Do you have a metric in your slide deck of current impressions? Well, we don't have a Steam page yet. We're building that this month. Well, I've sort of like it's not live. That's all. Sup, Swizz. Your pressure, you threw that, you mentioned it the other day and I was like, I'm going to try it. And hey, you know what's crazy? Check this out. I think this should work. Oh no, it didn't work. Hang on. It worked that time. If you don't have YouTube Premium, please let me know if you just got an ad. But if you did just get an ad, then you probably are in an ad and you can't tell that I just pressed that button. Not on Twitch though. Oh, you did. Well, someone's getting an ad all the time now, but that's not what I meant. Yeah, it'll be available on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be streaming on YouTube again. Hey. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. You don't have to do that, Papu. I just mean that the button exists now, and I thought maybe it was working again, but it's all good. So, where we land, I mean, I think that's totally fine. So, I'm happy to do like a cross section here of like I don't really like this way of thinking about it. Hey, Ace Ludo, thank you so much for the sub. Why don't we just do this? Why even bother talking about roguelikes? I think super chats are on. I think you can give super chats. Swizz. We just don't have them. Like, I just don't think we've had any today. But I think they're active. So, like, this would be like... In fact, I might even make this overlap bigger so that we can talk about these things. And we go like iconoclasts, Owlboy, Insignia. Hey, they are on. Thank you so much, Swizz, for the 10 bucks. 10 pounds. Thank you so much. This is called Figma, F-I-G-M-A. Oh, Hollow Knight lives here as well, but it's not really pixel art. This is kind of like, I don't want to do roguelike stuff in here because it's just not one. Oh, it's, what's it called? Momodora. That's really close to Insignia. Cave Story lives around here too, somewhere. It's just maybe a little bit more platformer. I think it's also important to say like who our audience is. Like, we're really shooting for like Nintendo fans, you know? How RPG is iconoclasts? Is it closer to Metroid or Castlevania? So Metroid and Castlevania usually get lumped into the one bucket called Metroidvania. And they do that because they're both quite light on story and RPG elements. I guess you could say that Castlevania has more RPG elements in that it's got the gear stuff, like all the equipment. But I would say Iconoclasts is closer to something like Zelda than both of them. Not the original Zelda, more like I don't know, like a Skyward Sword, you know what I mean? Or like what's the word? You know what? It's so interesting because I don't really know how to define iconoclasts, and yet I feel like I've been playing games like iconoclasts my whole life. It's so weird because it's not like Zelda. I always think of as like, oh, it's got an overworld, but iconoclasts doesn't really have an overworld. Iconoclasts is like it's like a JRPG in a Metroidvania, in that the story is linear, the map is mostly zoned, but even a JRPG, like even when you say a JRPG, you think overworld map, but it's more like closer to like Mega Man almost, where it's like not even Mega Man because that's like you load into the different, you drop in, even like I don't know, like what, like Rayman Legends or something, but that's more like what's the word, even Rayman is very level based. It's so hard to think of an action adventure game that doesn't have an overworld or level select. But that's what Iconoclasts is, and that's what Insignia is. Like, Insignia is a little bit more open world than Iconoclasts, but like, what games are we basing these games on? Oh yeah, like maybe the later 3D platformers, but even those games have like Jak and Daxter 1, I'm not sure, I haven't played it. Jak 2 is like Grand Theft Auto, that's different. How come you're not including games that aren't pixel art? Is there strong evidence to suggest people draw the line at art style? No. I'm just thinking, this is mostly, like for this, it's just about contemporaries. It's like other games that are like my game that will compare in terms of sales and that kind of thing. Like, it's less about just picking games, and it's more just like what games are similar to Insignia. And I think the art style, superficially from like a marketing perspective and sales, I think that is a factor. I'm not going to put like God of War in here, you know what I mean? This is specifically for a publisher, so it's not about communicating to players what the game is like. It's communicating to people who are going to fund the game, looking for a return on their investment. What kind of other investments or other products this is going to fall into the same category as. See, I think of ARPG as being like Diablo. So I know that's kind of a dated term now, but the JRPG that you're kind of mentioning would be something like, Kingdom Hearts, like action adventure with RPG elements, strongly story driven, maybe like Final Fantasy 16 even, but that's got, again, an overworld map. Kingdom Hearts has an overworld map. Insignia might at the end of it, but I don't think Iconoclasts does it? Yeah. I mean, like, because there are other better examples. Like Hollow Knight, if I'm talking about Hollow Knight, I might as well mention Blasphemous instead, you know? Like, there are lots of pixel art Metroidvania games I can pull from, or I don't have to go outside of the genre. a YouTube video about this stuff. Not sure. Probably not about this particular stream. I mean, this is going to be a YouTube video because you can watch it. Man, like, what is this? Do you know what it's like? Do you know what it is, actually? It's Pokemon. It's literally Pokemon more than it is. There were like a series of games in, I want to say, like the mid 90s, early 2000s, where it's kind of like the later retro Final Fantasies. Even like Final Fantasy X is actually a lot closer in structure. Like, they're games where you go through the world in a very linear fashion, zone by zone, and you can't leave the zone until you've finished it, and then you can sort of go somewhere else. I guess Zelda's like that. It's more about the fact, though, that like in Pokemon, like, there's no like, this is the thing that I think is really important, and it's got nothing to do with what I'm doing today, just to communicate to you all. This thing about, a lot of games do this thing where they have a hub and they put levels off the hub. You know, Zelda does this. This is Hyrule Field. You know, even modern Zelda does this. Like, from the original all the way to A Link to the Past, all the way to Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, even Skyward Sword, they all do this, where it's like there's this big generic kind of space you can run around in, and then there are modules of gameplay that showcase different mechanics that you go to one dungeon at a time, and then you go and fight Ganon. Well, this is also very similar to the layout of a Metroidvania game like Hollow Knight, where you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're bouncing in and out of the hub. Even Breath of the Wild is like this. There's just fewer of these, but you can think of this as like, look, it's like, it's kind of more like this actually in Breath of the Wild, but it's like the Zora, the Gorons, the Gerudo. This is more like what's it called? The town starts with H. Can't remember the name. This is like the Rito, and then Ganon is here in Hyrule Castle. It's still, you're still got this like more forgiving overworld, sort of, and then you're going between major hubs. If we're talking about story content and like major upgrades, it's still like that. So for me, like when I'm talking about, someone asked like, what's Iconoclasts like? And Insignia is like this too. In Insignia, it's more like, here's chapter 1, which leads into chapter 2, which leads into chapter 3, which leads into chapter 4. And then at the end, you get to go through the whole world. This feels kind of closer to like, almost like FF7. Like in Final Fantasy VII, you like start here and you go here, and then you go here, and then you go here, and then you cross over. You go Junon over to whatever, Cosmo Canyon, you come up here, and then you get access to the whole world. So Pokemon does the same thing. In Pokemon, it's, in the first one, it's, you know, Pallet Town, Viridian City, Pewter City, Cerulean City. You know, you're going across, down, across, down. You end up, and then you can sort of explore the whole map once you've linearly kind of been through the major zones. And you can't really get from here to here if you're just coming through. You kind of do a bit of this too. It's a bit awkward, but the idea that you have to walk through a map first, one chunk at a time, before you get access to all of it, and there's no real center, there's no real hub. That's, even Tombi is like that. I like Tombi a lot. Tombi is very much like, there's just a bunch of places you can go, you know, and they happen to be connected to each other. And yeah, there is a map, there is an overworld map, but you can't like teleport to places without using a resource. It's not like you can just quickly go from, you know, here to here, which in a way is actually closer to something like do you know what? This sort of is like Castlevania in a way. Oh, no, it's not. It's not like Castlevania. It's tough. Because I think of this as being like Dark Souls too. Like Dark Souls is also like that. You start in one space and you go up and you go across and you're kind of working your way through this helix. And it's only after you've been kind of everywhere at least once on foot that you can go back very obviously through. I mean, you can kind of cross back and forth a little bit. But, you know, Castlevania does this thing where it's like, it drops you in here. And then very quickly you get to here. And then within about half an hour, you can go boop, 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 boop. You know, and this middle section is kind of like, it's not its own foreboding thing. You can very easily cross the whole map in Castlevania. You won't get to do everything, but you'll be able to go from A to B very easily. But there's this thing that Iconoclasts does and Insignia does that I guess this is the shared DNA. Pokemon does it. The idea that you have to check off one place at a time before the world opens up. And there's no hub. It's just either a wheel or whatever of locations. So I'm not saying all of these belong to one genre or that some do and some don't. What I'm saying is like there's something in terms of what makes the game dynamic that I would say even Owlboy is like this. These games are different from these games. Like in a certain way, I would almost say that like Pokemon in this context has more in common with Dark Souls than Castlevania does, to an extent. In this thing that I'm trying to talk about. It's just a slice of genre convention that we don't really have a name for, that actually is quite a strong driving force for what I'm trying to do. It's not about Metroidvania versus action adventure versus JRPG or anything like that. It's just like the absence of a hub and the way that informs how you get through the different zones. Hey, Dave. Oh, thank you so much. You're welcome. You know? And when I say hub, I also mean overworld. Like, Hyrule Field is an overworld to me. The only example, I mean, like, even especially in Twilight Princess, it's like, there's kind of nothing there. Like, you're just going from the forest to the big open field, and you go straight across the field to, like, Kakariko Village, and then you go straight across the field to Hyrule Castle, and you go straight across the field to the Goron Village, which is the same thing as, like, Ocarina of Time does the same thing. Hyrule Field is just like a big empty hub. There's not much happening there. Whereas like Dark Souls is totally different. I wouldn't call the Undead Burg a hub. You know what I mean? In Dark Souls, it's like, well, I'm here now, and I can get from here to here, and I can get from here to there, but I don't know how to get here. Maybe I should go here first. Like, that's different. And like, the first time you play the game, you probably won't get to Blighttown except through the depths. What prompted the discussion? Oh, somebody just asked if Iconoclasts was a Metroidvania, I think, and I just got sucked into the conversation. It's really interesting because it does affect what I'm talking about here. Yeah. Because, like, I don't think, for example, that, yeah, I understand that, Grand Isle, but like if you go to Reddit, this is what's really critical when it comes to marketing a game. You go to Reddit, and you see when people say, this is like perfect, right? People go to Reddit and they say, hey, Metroidvania, what do you think about iconoclasts? Right? These are fans of the genre talking about a game that markets itself as part of the genre. The first thing someone says is, don't get me wrong, very well made game, just not for me. It's not what I expect from a Metroidvania. It contains so much talking and cutscenes, it's taking me out of the flow all the time. I don't like the level design, many equal looking corridors, like exploration doesn't satisfy me, like because it's not what these guys think of as a Metroidvania. It doesn't do enough of what a Metroidvania is to make these guys happy. Again, great game, but if you market it as a Metroidvania, people look at it through that lens and they go, you say, I've built a square, and it's really like a rounded circle, like a squared off circle. You say, I've got a square, and they go, well, it doesn't look like a square to me. I mean, it's kind of square shaped, but like, even if your squircle is really cool, you called it a square. So like people are going to look at it like it's a square and judge it against other squares. So I think it's really important to get that right. Again, like I think Insignia I'm building the game the way I think it should be built based on what I'm trying to do. But what that is and who it's for is, it's important to get that right, because that's literally like 80% of the marketing is knowing who you're marketing to and trying to communicate to them like what it is. Let's keep going. I actually literally recorded yesterday. I recorded a video on behalf of the grant agency that funded Insignia. I recorded a video about my grant application and why I thought it was successful. And I listed off a bullet point list of things that I thought people applying for the grant should do. And I'm literally finding myself writing the exact slides that were in the bullet point list. It's like, what you're making, why you're making it, who it's for, what success looks like, and how the funding is going to help you achieve that success. That's the 5 things you need to prove. So, like, what we're making and why, who it's for, what was the other one? What does success look like? That's over here. And like what we need from them. So we're really after a partner who understands the genre and market, understands the market we're entering into and has confidence in. Hey, Quetzal, what color? This is for more funding, yeah. And has confidence in their ability to to leverage connections to boost the game's visibility beyond where we could. Green, huh? Okay, let's have a look. Hello, sorry buddy. Where can you play a demo? So the demo is not ready just yet. There is an old demo, but you're gonna have to find that yourself. I'm not gonna link it. It's like 5 years old now, almost. Hey FJ, thank you so much for the resub. Cheers. Okay. Hey, Universal. What do you think of the content creator publishing labels? There's only two, lol. Donkey's Big Mode and Ludwig's off-brand games. I'm going to be candid here because I believe in being honest. For me, as a developer, not as a content creator, as a developer, I say I would approach with caution because reach is incredibly important, but management skills and experience is even more important. So, like for me, Big Mode is definitely promising because Animal Well is an amazing game and was marketed very well. I don't know if Big Mode would be a great fit for Insignia because I don't know how prepared Donkey would be to market the kind of game that Insignia is. That would have to be a completely independent conversation, I guess. Like it's really important to be, again, like I said earlier, every publisher is different. You have to know what publisher is going to work for you. So for me, like just saying, oh, it's a content creation publisher, like what does that mean? You know, what does that get me? What really matters is like who's involved. Who are you actually going to be dealing with, and what are they actually going to do for you? I think in principle, it's not a bad idea. New media, you know, they've got a lot of connections. Streamers playing a game is a really good concept for marketing the game. Having a community there on launch, you know, thousands of people jumping in to purchase the game because it's being played by popular streamers is great. But that you have to know that's going to happen. Like, are they going to do that for you? It really comes down to just what are people prepared to invest, whether that's money, time, exposure, whatever, and how well do you think they're going to stick to that? Can they actually deliver on it? Yeah, I'd love nothing more than to like publish with someone who gets what I do, or even to self-publish. I'd love to do that. So we'll explore it. I mean, it's not out of the question. They're on my hit list. Well, that's the thing. You never know what you're getting, you know. You gotta be careful with this stuff. You can't just sign away everything just because YouTube are funny, you know? I forgot what I was going to do. I was going to say something here. I'd like to be able to speak to proofs here, but I don't really have a lot of that other than the grants. I think it's going to be cool. Like once it's unfortunate that like it's really important that I go to GDC now. I think that's important. And I think it's the right move for where we're at, but it's a shame that like we weren't at PAX last year, or it's a shame that we weren't on Steam 6 months ago, because by now I would have been able to say like, hey, like And also we were in the indie showcase in PAX or whatever. We've got 20,000 wish list or something. Like, that would be great. To have that stuff against this stuff is like, you know, we're like fully loaded at that point. Anyway, how many slides are we looking at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What the heck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's getting pretty close now to the end. Yeah. I'd like to put a little timeline here. That'd be cool. Okay. Or even where you come in. I don't know. What is that to? Too casual? What follows? What we're after? Please, maybe we should un-auto mod the word Pokemon in the Twitch chat. Yeah, stop writing Pokemon for now. In fact, do we have any mods in the Twitch chat? Claudio Alexandru Ion Christian says, well, that was a very European way of pronouncing that name. Have you ever wondered if things are not the same as my expectations and all my effort in the development of this game did not put me in the position where I thought I should be? What do I do next? Yeah, dude. Yeah, of course I think that. I think that all the time. Yes, I do think that sometimes. I'd be crazy if I didn't think that. I'd be crazy if I didn't consider what would happen if the game didn't meet my expectations. Hey, Mikino, thanks for giving me that sub. What do I say here? Like, let's say thanks for now. Okay. So, summary. Thank you. How to contact us. I should mention platforms at some point. That it's console. Hey, recap. Yo, is Ocelot in the chat? In Twitch? Did you want to have a look at that stuff? Did you want me to have a look at that stuff? Yeah. Let me know. If it's not pushed, it's all good. Up to you. Hey, Bika. Well, you're about to see it because we're about to load it up. But I just want to do a couple of things here. First thing I want to do is, oh man, I probably should open up the project because I blue screened last time. Before I open, like it was open and it blue screened because of, I don't know, the stream, something went wrong. Maybe because it's 5:43, I might just close Figma to just lighten up the processor. I've got a really, for those of you on YouTube and like not people who don't watch the stream that often on Twitch, what's happened is I have an old computer and the specs are okay, but the CPU is really old. It's like 7-8 years old now, and it's struggling to keep up with all my stuff being open. Hey, Sneaky Pups. So we have a new PC coming this week that Twitch chat so graciously donated. So we had a bit of a donation drive and Twitch chat came through. So we got a new PC coming, and we're also going to be doing like splitting out the stream. So we've got like a capture card. We're going to use an Elgato capture card to send the stream to my laptop, and then have the laptop do all of the streaming, while the PC will just handle the programs. So new PC upgrade, but also even less strain on that PC, which is hopefully going to be really good. Okay. So Does the project run, or will I need to do something to get it going? Okay, we're all good. Sick. Twitch chads. Hey, Beaker. Thank you so much for following. Mikanil, thank you so much for gifting that sub to Sneaky Pops. This is one of my favorite things. Our sound designer put this together. Listen to this. Isn't that cool? Anyway, that's a little taste of the game. So, let's save this. Let's commit everything here. I don't know what changed here about this code. Maybe just, yeah, okay. A little bit of formatting, that's fine. Renames, data library editor script functions. That's all that does. Thank you for the bits. Can you do a video about buildings again and how to draw them in top-down style? I have one about top-down buildings, or at least I have one about top-down and I make buildings in it. But that was a while ago. To be honest with you, I don't have like that much top-down experience to draw from. Hey, we got some new stuff from Elias. When was that? That's not on the 18th. Did I not pull that in? Let's drag it in then. Thanks, Dave. What does he do? Athenium test. Oh no, that's just the Martin sound effects. And fixes ambience not being released from memory. Sound effects context adds Harriet laughter and enemy sword swipe sound effect. Okay. Let's look at this. Orinstead bridge.asset. Is that a scene? It's a scene meta. I think. Oh, I actually don't know which one to pick. I don't know what this is. Can I open it? Is it a scene or is it a scene meta? Because if it's a scene meta, it's the meta. Well, in that case, we'll use his version because he would have updated the thing for that. And then scene graph, that's all mine. I'll keep that. Thank you very much. And the screenshots folder, I'll keep that too. Okay, we can commit that. 221 files, that's a lot of files. Oh, a lot of moved files. Okay, that's all good. Thanks, Floppy Pixel. That's one of my older sprites at this point, actually. I did that in 2018. I am very proud of it. But I might recolor it. I think it doesn't quite match the palette of the game at this point. But the shading is good, yeah. That's why it's lasted this long, that file. Otherwise I would have... Ooh, that doesn't sound right. Oh, we're hearing a bunch of jumps there. That doesn't sound right. What happened there? Might have to message. Hype train? Is that coming? Oh, you missed it. Okay. All right. So, I don't want to roll that back. Hey, BG. Conceptually for the ledge grab animation, is it as simple as on body entered for every ledge and play animation? It's a little more complicated than that, unfortunately, in my case. So let me explain how this works. Okay. So Armin has, if you can see, oh, actually I'll be more specific here. Ledge check. See this? There's two colliders for the ledge. There's hands and there's feet. If you're about to like snap onto a ledge, if your feet hit the ledge, he does like a stumble. If your hands hit the ledge, so your feet have already gone past you, then he grabs the ledge, and then you have the option to get up from the ledge. So here, it puts you into the ledge grab state when you collide with a ledge object. So let's click it again. So you can see here, where is it? Ledges. This square, if that intersects with this rectangle, then I snap Armin to a specific offset relative to the edge, to the corner. So this is tagged as being a right ledge. There's right ledges and there's left ledges. And depending on which one you snap onto, it'll make the offset different, because if you're on the left side, you should be over here, right? So since you're on the right side ledge, it places Armin here, turns his gravity off, turns his velocity to 0, puts him in this animation. It's an older animation, it looks a little rough here. But now Armin is in a completely different behavior state. So what you can do here is now dependent on, there are only so many button inputs that it lets you do. So like up will send you up, forward will send you up, jump will send you up, but down will send you down. So you can like drop off if you want and do like, you know, Smash Brothers style ledge stuff. You can also roll, although that's not happening right now. Okay, maybe I don't have that. I used to. Yeah, so the other alternative was, yeah, if you stumble, he'll just automatically do it. So like this here, see how he just kind of like, just like vaulted over it? That's because your feet hit the ledge before your body did, and you were holding forward. I don't think it does that if you are not holding forward. Yeah, if you're not holding forward, it won't stumble. So, yeah. All right. So I think we're good. Wait, why does that... Oh, this is origin design. Okay. Yeah, cool. So we're going to switch now over to design. And then we're going to pull from origin to get design up to origin. And then we're going to recompile. Boom. Do I code in Unity? Yeah, C# in Unity. Yeah. Unity itself doesn't have code. Unity is just the engine, but it interfaces with C#. Like the projects, it'll only accept C# projects, so yeah. All of it, Unity is built. All of the front end stuff is built in C#. Like all the scripts and stuff. Okay, so we were looking at, oh, it's a bit ugly. Close you, reopen. It used to support JavaScript, yeah, but they cancelled support for it. You can do Bolt, which is now just called Unity Visual Scripting, I think. There is a visual scripting format you can try. Okay. So how does this work? Crucible Alt. Okay. Wait. Has anything changed here? Or should I just jump straight across? A few rooms. In this... Okay, well, I'll play it. Ooh. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, nice. Oh. Okay. This is good when you have a team. You can actually play your own game without having designed every single piece of it. Oh, that's cool. That's very smart, Luca. I like that. Cool. Very steep. Wait, was that because we killed the enemy? What was that? How did it... I don't even... It's not Insignia music. Oh wait, no, it might be. Hang on. Are you listening to the game music? Wait, what? Hang on. Why is it... Shh. No, it's not playing. Wait, why isn't it playing? That is weird. It should be playing. Oh. Oh, because this is the alt music. Yeah. This is the alt scene. Nice. Hello, Ren. I love the stairs coming down. That's so cool. Very creative. Ooh. I'm guessing he would be the ranged one or something. I feel like maybe with that key and that chest, I feel like we can do one that's like the key right before the chest. No, Robo East, the chest was available to us before the key, but I do think that the chest should be... Hang on. Let me show you something. Okay, so the path was like this, right? There was like a chest here. And then we had to drop down, I think, go around, and then end up where the key was here. I think what's important here is that this is something that maybe isn't... Like, I think this is fine to do once, where the key is like right there. But I also think that it's probably worth us putting the chest somewhere that requires a little bit of... Maybe it's something like... If the key is like up here or something, and like you can see the chest here, and then you go, oh, hang on, there's the key up there. Or maybe the chest, the other thing I was going to suggest is maybe the chest should just be like further over, so that even if you have the key, you have to then still have the mental presence of mind to go, oh, I know where the chest was, and go back to where the chest was. If we're going to do this pattern, at least, if we're going to do it at least twice, like if we do it once, it's fine to do it just how we did it. But if the second and third time we do it, we should ask more of the player. Such that we ask them to have the presence of mind to go get the chest, because otherwise it does feel like on this second time it did feel a bit like I didn't have to work for it. The third time, for example, I would say it might be cool to do chest, key, and then no obvious way to get here, except there's like something in the way that that this ends that makes you think there's a secret, and then somewhere over here there's the secret door, and then you can follow it back over or something like that. Like, there should be one really obvious one that's easy that you just can't miss. That was the first one that we did. The second one should require a little bit of discipline. The third one should require a lot more planning and maybe even prodding at the edges of the level. Hey, Xiao Addy. It is a platformer. It's an action adventure with platforming. Green, says Zoronak. Okay. All right. A green clinker on Twitch. It's a yellow one. Sorry, bud. Does that make sense, Ocelot? It's always yellow. Okay. Oh, I'll just keep playing then. I'll shut my mouth. Oh, I could just... that's pretty good. That's really good. That's a nice, like, such a lean gate. Nice. Do I stream this format often? Like this? Every day. What we're doing right now? Today's stream was completely typical for how we normally stream. Five hours a day for the last 7 years. Not 7. How long have I been streaming for? 2008. 7 years. Damn it. Shit. Okay, actually 7 years. Okay. Ooh, that's cool. Dude, I love playing your level designs because they're not mine. I think also because you're working in the prototype tile set, you're not as constrained as I normally am when I'm thinking about the actual levels. Like, this is the way I should be designing the levels, and I haven't been because I'm just a hypocrite. Nice, dude. Yeah. I think if my personal taste, I think here I would ask for a longer challenge that had more time than a shorter challenge with shorter time. I think, what was that, like 3 seconds? I wouldn't do anything less than 8, I think. 5 or 8. Just because I like the feeling of being in the mini game. I feel like this way it was like a panic and then it was over before I could enjoy it. Seven mushrooms. Wow, that was cool. Yeah, dude. That was really cool. Just pull the whole level down. Very good. There's something about like like I built that thing, but like you took it further. Like you took it beyond where I was gonna take it. I think it's something about two heads, you know, having two people involved changes it somehow. Can I make that? No. Like my ability to be creative, you know, because you built it. I mean, because I built it, I'm not thinking about all the different ways I could use it. Whoa, okay. I'm really thinking about the way that I intended to use it. But because you didn't have to do any of that heavy lifting mentally, you're coming fresh and going, oh, what can I do with this? And it's like, maybe it's more obvious for you. But for me, none of that stuff's super obvious. Yeah, this is cool. This is really cool. It's great stuff. Man, hearing the sound effects for this ability so many times. Maybe with the music it will feel different, but I feel like we need some variation on it. I'm going to mention that to Squiggy. Okay. So, now we're here. What is this? Oh, It feels like a bit of a dare. I wouldn't expect to be able to do that. Maybe we treat it like it wasn't supposed to be. Can I ask if this is supposed to be doable like this? Just so that I'm... not making a fool out of myself. No spoilers. Okay, no spoilers, no spoilers. Oh, okay. Damn. Cool. Just because I know I can do it, that's all. That's all. I wasn't gonna do it until after. Okay, cool. Oh shit, I'm about to die. Actually useful. Oh, I see. And then that's going to help me over here. Oh, and then we need that for over here. Okay, cool. Very good. Good stuff. Yeah, really good. Really good, Luca. Really good. Hey, Osaka boy. How's it going? I don't know how much you've been seeing. Yeah, this was good, Luca. I think like what I wouldn't expect us to use all of this wholesale. Definitely not. But I think like the zones that you created, each different section had at least 3 things that I would use. It's just about getting the balance right and fitting it into this. Because I think some of this stuff that you've got, like definitely, you know, like this was too snake heavy. This was like, so I was like snake. And then this one was like a really nice like puzzle. This was great. Or was it this one? I think the first 2, were they? They're both snake? Yeah. So I really like this. If we are going to have, like, I would consider... oh, but you only just got the snake, right? So I can see how you're kind of flexing into that. Maybe there's like a little few of the fire ones. Like we don't use fire too much here. And this is kind of me just spitballing now. I'm not like, this isn't like me delegating to you, but like right now I'm quite happy with how much this is a pretty, you know, it's not a lot, but it's enough to get you through here. But we don't really ask the same of you from the fire stuff. So maybe we could make a little bit more left and right stuff here with the fire. Yeah, but that's the thing. I think you did that. I think you made the right call. If this is just like where you're at right now and you're just like, you've got more ideas, you want to keep going, I say keep going. Like this is awesome. If you reckon you've got a whole fire level in there for us to pick a bunch of different options from tomorrow or whatever, I say yes, keep doing it. Because I think like we could probably pull maybe like even like the best 30% of this. Like this thing was so cool. This is awesome. We could take that. We could take some of this stuff. Oh, I like the way that you gated this first level here. I like the way that you could like technically you could get here, but you wouldn't be able to do the last bit unless you had the snake. I really like that. Which meant you could probably come through here, do this, come here, do this. So like there's a linear sequence, but the level is non-linear. That's like exactly the way it should feel. That's really, really good. I also think this didn't like super overstay its welcome, which was really good too. And you've got like a little bit of optional areas. Like I'm very happy that you're able to exercise your creativity with what we've got like this. I'm really happy with it. Good stuff. Cool. Where's my... Oh, shoot. Okay, no worries. For a second, I was like, where's my phone? Maybe my wife might be messaging me and I'm not answering. But no, it's all good. She's just working away. All right, pals. What do we reckon? I think we're pretty much done for today. I'm getting tired here. It's hot. I might put the aircon back on. Give that Luca a pay raise. Luca's doing great. Luca's one of our animators. He actually animated the snake. He's an animator / level designer on the project. So actually the snake and the dandelion. So this is all him. Yeah, he did a good job. Nice, Tiovo. All right. I'm going to take a quick break. Maybe I'll come back and we'll do a little bit more, but I don't know how much time I've got today. I'm just going to see how we go. So I'll be back in a bit. See ya. Okay, we're back. All right. Now, Squiggy, our sound designer, has already done a fix. I think I can discard everything and go straight to development. Yeah, Squig did a fix on the sound effects already, so we should be able to pull that in to sound design, merge sound design into development. Pardon me. Scene graph, that goes back to dev. And then commit. Hello. Taki Dev, thanks for the follow. Hey Ged. Oh, hey Ged, is your name based on a fantasy book? Is that Earthsea? Hey multi-HMere. Hi, your videos are always inspiring, thanks. I work in Godot, so I have some Unity questions. What is the level inspector? Do you see scene connections? Is that a Unity plugin? Actually, I built that. That is custom. Yeah, I built that inside of Unity myself. Well, originally, and then I got some help from another developer to help take it to the Unity asset store. So this version's not... Oh, what the heck? No? What? The heck? Oh, what did I press? Maps, scene graph. Thank you. Cool. Yeah, so this originally I built this, but this version was built by a chatter called Elzac, based on my version. It's pretty cool, huh? So let's see if we got that sound effect fixed. Yeah, that's it. Cool. I played since the library boss. What have I missed? Hey, Min. As in, when did you play that? What year was it? Oh, thanks, Fun TV. Count pixels to play scenes in logic? How do pixels have to do with scenes? That's crazy. Alright. So, let's... I wanted to fix a couple things here. The first thing was, we got the jump working. And I was going to... Oh, what was I going to do? So Min, the game is like, it's totally different. So I'll give you a quick rundown. So the start is, well, all of the art has basically been done over since then. The game, the very, very beginning is still the same, but instead of going straight on, there's like a day, like a prologue day, where you do a little bit of exploring. And then on the second day, then you can go straight through the town. Completely new designs for the levels on the way up. The watchtower is still there, that's the same. There's a complete new like re-envisioning of the dungeon underneath the bridge, which is now looks different. And I've also completely redone, or I'm about to just completely redo the where did that go? Where'd the level go? Hang on. I lost one. Where did the level I was working on yesterday go? Interesting. What the heck? Oh, did I not save that? Oh, it's here now. Yeah, there it is. So I've been working on redoing the library as well. What happened was we got some funding, and I had been working on a bunch of new systems and mechanics since last time, since that demo. And the game had changed so drastically in terms of like its mechanics that first chapter and that first dungeon needed to be envisioned to fit those mechanics in. So the game is much more, I mean, there's much more abilities now. There's like a whole ability system that wasn't in the game before. So none of this stuff existed. But yeah, it's a whole system where like you steal abilities from enemies, and then you can use those abilities to get through the level. So again, yeah, that's quite new. And I had planned to just leave chapter 1 as it was in the demo and then just keep working on the game. But this stuff changed the game so much that it didn't make sense to leave that stuff until like after an hour and a half into the game. Like it didn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like, why not just, if you were to sell the game to somebody, they would expect the stuff that makes the game unique to appear in the first 20 minutes, half an hour. So that's kind of where we're at now. Reworking that stuff in. But the last demo was 2020. It was 5 years ago. So yeah, I didn't think that the game that I was building in 2020, I'll tell you straight up, like I wasn't going to finish it. At the way that I was building it, I was going to get stuck permanently and just circling hell forever. Like it didn't have enough unique gameplay features to last the playtime, and I wouldn't have stopped developing it unless I could make it fun, and it wasn't becoming more fun. So adding like mechanical diversity and depth to the game that I could spread out over the gameplay and then use to drive quests and crafting and all that stuff, that was critical. I just couldn't continue without that. So here I am. And it just meant a lot, like it's meant rebuilding a lot of the tools that I use to make the game as well. Like so much has changed. It's so hard to even describe it. Like, for example, this scene here, like this scene couldn't have been built. Well, that was quick. That's something is wrong there. What the heck just happened? What? Hang on. What just happened to this sequence? Did this break? What was that? That looked totally wrong. Why is it so fast? What the heck? Huh? It's so slow here. But the cutscene camera goes so fast. I've never seen that before. What the heck? No, dude. What the heck? That's crazy. I've never seen that before. What did I do to this thing? And then she just disappeared. The fade out didn't happen either. Oh, so weird. What the heck? I genuinely don't know what I could have changed to make the behavior of this scene play out this way. Huh. And nothing's broken. Whoa. That's weird. Yeah, what the hell? That's super weird, man. Did I change like the camera? The rig? What did I change? What the heck did I change? Action camera set. That's so weird. Oh, hang on a second. Hang on a second. There's a zone camera here? What the heck? Oh. Wait a second. Did this actually affect it? Hang on a sec. Turn this off for a second. Wow. Huh. Okay. It was like a race condition between two cameras. Anyway, what I was trying to say is this kind of thing where I do like really interesting camera movements. I zoom the camera in. I have characters like portraits above their heads moving back and forth, you know, fading out like this, cutting to a different camera like between the shots. Couldn't do it before. No way. This shot I'm about to pull off here, where we zoom out, couldn't do that before. It's just a lot of stuff. Little things. Even that, this little zoom here, as we go and talk to Mum. It just was a much less dynamic game in the way that it told story. So a lot of the... there's so much content that's changed as a result of tools that I've built. Why does the clock light up? Because you can inspect it. Yeah, it's not quite there yet. I mean, you can still see little hitches here and there, but we'll get there. So, I've now forgotten entirely what I was going to do. Oh, hey, 101. What is the clock's wisdom? You're just asking this. When you can inspect something, it shines, so you can talk to it. Well, talk using it. So you can just... It's like an adventure game, you know? Doubly linked list says, hello, this game looks awesome. I have a few questions. As a developer, how do you deal with code burnout / losing motivation to deal, losing motivation on a project? How do you plan out your projects? Finally, how do you put a certain end to your projects? Like, how do you know when it's time to stop adding anything, such as new features, perfecting the code? Hoi, hoi, hoi. Hard to answer this question briefly, because it's like you're asking how do you develop games? But I'll give you like a short version. Okay. Burnout and losing motivation on a project. This is how I think it is. For me, when it comes to burnout, typically that happens when I don't know how to resolve the current state of what I'm working on, or I don't have the energy to do that. Typically, if you don't know how, then you're going to waste all your energy on it, and then you'll burn out. So burnout happens when the energy you have for something is insufficient to deal with whatever it is. And that can be because it's too hard for you, because you're just not ready to do it yet. It could be because you don't actually know what you should be doing, so you haven't defined the challenge yet. It could also be that you're troubleshooting, like you're stuck there's something that you don't know how to get past because you haven't solved a problem. Or it could be that just in your personal life, like totally outside of the game and what it is, you're like working too hard, or your other needs that you have as a person aren't being met. So they're draining your energy in a way that doesn't let you engage with your code or your game the way that you would otherwise be able to if you were like totally chill and happy or whatever in your life. So I think what tends to happen, and as I'm reading your message, I think I'm going to guess something about you. This might be wrong. Big Imp basically said it, but like, I think if you don't know what you're making, I think that can be a real issue. Like, a lot of people, smart people who get into game dev because they are classic engineer types, they like figuring out how things work and they like to build things, but they're not particularly passionate about the things they're building. It's more like solving the problem. What tends to happen is you go, I want to make games. I want to learn how to code games. And you sit down and you learn how to code, and you're making progress. You're doing like little examples. You learn how to build a character controller. You learn how to do, shaders, or you're building a marching squares algorithm. You're making all this cool stuff. You're following YouTube tutorials, or you're just learning because you're just so smart. You can just pick stuff up without really even whatever. So you get to a point where you know how to do all this stuff, but like you don't actually have a passion driving you to do a specific thing, which is to finish a game. Like, what you're passionate about is learning things, and making a game is like 50% learning things and then 50% doing the things that you've learned how to do until they're polished, right? Like until they're like ready for other people to play. And being passionate about learning game dev is not the same as being passionate about polishing something until someone else enjoys it. There's such a huge gap there. Some people say that's like 80% of game dev is like the part where you have to like, now, you've solved how your animation system works, but now you have to animate like 100 things, You've solved how your UI system works, but now you have to like set up like 50 screens of UI or whatever. You've solved how your ability system works. Now you have to sit down and devise a story and content, and like, I didn't sign up for this. I just wanted to learn how to make stuff. At that point, if that's you, and I'm not saying that is you, but if it is you, it's important to then pick a project that you are excited about finishing. And that might have to be a small project. It might have to be a project that seems dumbed down relative to what you're able to like code, but is small enough for your creative muscles to like not get worn out by the time you're like tired of it. That can cause burnout. If you don't have the creative drive to do something, you're going to get to a point where you're stuck because you just don't have the motivation or the interest. You're not interested in telling a story, like maybe, or in the nitty gritty things that you need to do to make the story worth other people's time enjoying it. For me, luckily, I don't have that problem because my background is in user experience design. So for me, making things be fun for other people to play and use, making things that feel intuitive and are polished, that's what I'm actually passionate about. Like, I get excited about, you know, the ins and outs of, hey, like, how should this, what the heck? Okay, that's wrong. That's buggy. Yeah, like, how should this thing react to you? But also, like, how do I build this house in such a way that you as the player learn, like, how to do the first few control options without actually feeling like you're in a tutorial? Like, oh, I can teach you how to inspect something, you know? How do I make it so that you know how to proceed through the dialogue without, like, knowing what button to press, right? Or like going down the stairs or coming up the stairs, like all these little things that I'm teaching you at the beginning of the game. The trying to make it feel seamless is, like, for me, even the storytelling, like the UX of storytelling for me is, like, exciting. And when I'm bad at it, that makes me more passionate to learn about it. Like, what's the average size of a level? When can a level be really big versus really small? How many levels do I need to teach you some concept or some new ability? Like, I get off on that stuff. I like it. So building the world and polishing the game is fun for me. But if that's not where you're at, like, you probably won't get that far, right? You'll lose steam and you'll go, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. You'll start procrastinating. You'll think about other projects that you could make, and they will be infinitely more interesting because you haven't done them yet. They're like green pastures that you haven't, like, crossed. So that's something that I think it's a lot of people if it's not you. If we're talking about planning, that's also something that I'm learning how to do. Okay, so depending on the size of the project, well, it doesn't matter what the size is, but the size is going to affect how good you have to be, at planning it, and how much you're going to have to sort of, like, be flexible and sacrifice on the way to making it finished. So, like, my game is huge. Insignia it's massive, and it's taken me 8 years to get here, but the planning is good now. I'm building a workflow with a team. We've got a production schedule. We're making progress, at least enough such that we're able to keep this thing going and hopefully get more funding, and we'll get to release. Like, the pace that we're working at it's going to work out. If I was making a smaller game on a sharper timeline, then I would have other kinds of constraints that are more concrete that I'd be able to use at the start of the project to define what am I trying to get out of this project? How much time am I realistically prepared to spend on it? What kinds of features are critical that I need to develop first? What things depend on those features? What kinds of things might change how I approach it if I don't know about them yet? These unknowns. What am I likely to discover that might throw this off, that might actually make it take 5 months instead of 2 months? And how am I going to react to those changes when I come across them? What do I have to do? Ultimately, like, I'm of the opinion that game dev is impossible to scope until you have solved the game you're trying to make. That's what I honestly believe. Unless you're making a game that exists already, you will not know how much work you have to do until you've built at least one vertical slice of your thing. If you can't build a polished vertical slice of your thing, you don't know how long it's going to take to build the other X amount of slices. You just don't. You can't do it. And even if you have a vertical slice, it doesn't tell you how to finish it. So if you just say, like, hey, I want to make games. Like, I'm going to make, the next Jump King, and I want to do it in 3 months. It's like, well, you might dedicate 3 months to something, but it's not going to be the next, like, whatever it is, you don't know what that is yet. You haven't even started. So I actually think it's really important to not set deadlines. Like, give yourself the amount of time required to discover what it is you're actually trying to make, like what's good about it, what interests you about it. And once you've got something that's a prototype that's like promising enough to then invest your time into, that's when you start planning and scheduling and whatever. In fact, I think it's kind of like play around with something for a few weeks, decide it's worth it when you've got it into some specific shape, then build a vertical slice out of it with user testing, like play testing, and, you know, put some polish into it, put some love into it, then decide, okay, this is now exactly what it needs to be, gameplay wise, polish wise. I can see what I need for it. Now I can start thinking about how much time, how much money, how long I want to spend getting there, what sales expectations, how do I build an audience, like all that stuff. Of course, this is all depending on what kind of game you're trying to make and who it's for. And if it's just for you, different story than if you're trying to like get a profit out of it. If it's a hobby versus a job, these are going to change how important it is for you to make your project in an efficient way. Efficiency is really important if money's on the line. But if you're just like enjoying yourself, then it's just about making sure you enjoy what you're doing. Like if it's your hobby and you're burning out on it, you have no reason to. If it's your hobby and you're burning out on it, just do a different thing. Like just do what you like to do. Don't push yourself if you don't like it. Unless the things that are burning you out are more to do with like not knowing how to grow further. And I think that actually can happen. Like if you're like if you want to be an artist, right, and you start drawing and you pick up, you're learning to draw and you're making progress, but then you plateau and you go, ugh, I can't make progress. I'm not getting better at art. I suck at art. I don't want to do this anymore. But you still want to be an artist. You still want to draw, but you just can't get better. That's where you need to start doing research. Like you're in the pool and you're swimming and your head is down because you're trying to swim, but like you need to come up for air. Like you need to start actually looking at references, looking at tutorials again. Because everybody has this thing, right? Everybody's doing this thing where there's like where I am, where I want to be, and what I think I need to do to get there. And at some point we do this thing where we give ourselves expectations. We say, oh, I should be able to do this in like 3 weeks. I should be great in 3 weeks. And then the 3 weeks goes and you're here. And then 4 weeks and 5 weeks goes and you're here. And like reality is that you were just on this curve. Like you were just gonna get there in a much longer time. But you are burning out because you are emotionally incapable or like not prepared to do to walk the road that's in front of you because you had emotionally committed to the road you thought you were on. That can happen. Like this road might end up at this point twice as long. It might take you 6 weeks, not 3 weeks, but like because you didn't want to spend 6 weeks, you feel like you have to grieve or you lost something or like you're not good enough, or you start like getting in your own head because you're not meeting these arbitrary expectations that you set from back here when you didn't know how to do anything. Like why does this person get to dictate how this person who's actually put a lot of work in should feel about themselves? You know what I mean? This person hasn't done anything. So just because this guy said 3 weeks doesn't mean that you should feel bad because you missed the 3 week mark. That can cause burnout too. So does that answer your question? Yeah. Deadlines are important, but like make sure you're qualified to set them before you set them. No worries. Hey, Mega Hombre. Welcome. It's going great. Thank you so much. It's a lot of pressure, but I'm getting there. Yeah. I hope that some of the things that I said stuck. I know that I did a big shotgun scattershot approach there of like, I don't know who you are, so I don't know what's getting stuck for you. But those are all things that I have struggled with in my game. Like, I do have a bit of an engineering brain. There are projects that when I was learning code, I would get really excited by and then burnt out on within like 3 weeks. Like, that was me for a long time. I always used to set higher expectations of myself. I still do than I actually deserve to set, and I get upset about it. Like, I do that. So I don't know all the answers, but like, I've been through all this stuff, so I can at least speak to that stuff. It's really, it's also, I want to say one more thing, because I need to hear this and you need to hear this. If I need to hear it, you definitely do. You don't have all the answers. You don't know everything. Why are you expecting perfection? It's okay. You know, like, you're just figuring it out and you're doing a good job because you're here, right? You're here asking the questions and you're putting the effort in. Like, you're doing something amazing. So don't like judge yourself so harshly. And I know it's really hard. It's really, really hard not to, because you go on Blue Sky or X or whatever, and you see all these screenshots and all these GIFs and all these people liking them, and it's like, oh shit, everyone's great and I'm not. I feel that. So if I feel it, you're probably going to feel it. And if I feel it, it's not about the quality of what you're making. It's not what you've finished or what you haven't finished. Like, you're on a journey. And it's okay to be on that journey, because like 99% of the thing that you're doing, that you want to do with your life, if this is what you want to do, like 99% of it is journeying. It's not being at the destination. So it's like, have some compassion for yourself. Don't beat yourself up about beating yourself up. You know, it's like, it's natural to have dreams and expectations, and it's natural for you to have to learn around those things, you know, to not have everything fall into place straight away. That's natural. So it's okay. As long as if you're curious, you stay, you know, you treat yourself well, like, you'll find answers. And not everyone has the same hand. Not everyone gets the same ride. So I know you want to compare yourself. We live in a world full of comparisons, but like, what can you do? All you can control is what you can control. And if you're trying, you should respect that. Okay. Now I gotta go. Yeah, it's hot. Like, guys, like, I can't, like, I don't know. I don't want to like say too much, but like, sometimes like I'm lying in bed on like a Saturday, like crying, because it's like really hard to do this stuff. Like, game devs is really fucking hard. So please do not believe anybody who treats. Don't believe anybody who presents themselves like they have all the answers and that it's easy and that you just got to do it and it's going to be great. Like, it's really hard, but that's okay. Like, it's all good. You'll get there. Ahmed. Hey, Ahmed. That's is your name? I mean, it's definitely Arabic, but like, are you Lebanese? Have I asked you this before? I know. Ahlan. All right. Now I actually do have to go, pals. I got some dinner to make. great chat, everybody. So for those of you on Twitch, we're going to raid Randy. For those of you on YouTube, I don't know how to raid, so I don't think that's a thing on YouTube, but you can go check out Randy's YouTube stream. I think he streams on both. Okay? Thanks, pals. I'll see you tomorrow, yeah? Come back. It was a pleasure to have you. Let's keep doing cool Insignia game dev streams. Let's ramp up some of the excitement towards maybe a Steam page soon. And on YouTube, carry the torch. Last time I stopped streaming on YouTube because everyone was unsubbing and everyone was watching. So if you like the content, stick around. That's it, pals. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I've been Adam. You've been the Pixel Pals. This has been the Indie Tales Game Dev live stream. Until next time.